Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Magic Mics, proudly sponsored by our Patreon supporters and CoolStuffInc.com. You can find cool stuff in stock every day, and check out our co-sponsor CardHoarder.com, offering the best inventory prices and delivery of cards for Magic Online. And finally, check out our new Altar Sleeves. Get your custom sleeve image of the Magic Mics crew at AltarSleeves.com/MagicMics. All right. And with that, I am Evan Irwin, and we get started each week by saying hello to my two co-hosts, Aaron Campbell.
How's it going?
Ruben Bressler.
Yeah, we have to adjust to see, because we're live. There we go. Hey, everybody. What's going on?
We were head around like, we got it. We did it. We're here.
We are extremely professional this week.
Super duper. And with that, we kick it off with our first pick and giveaway. Get your chance at a $50 gift certificate to CoolStuffInc.com by typing !raffle in the chat, but subscribe first to get 2 chances to win. And don't forget our raid at the end of the show to support a member of the community. Enter your suggestions at the end of the show.
Of the community?
A member of the community.
I heard membrane of the community.
Remembery.
Remember?
I heard to support a remembery of the community.
All right. Well, to show don't forget our raid at the end of my face with the face parts and the mouth that moves. All right. We're raiding later. Figure it out. Okay.
Don't forget to rare our shade at the end of the show.
That's right.
To remember the community.
It's a little... All right, so look, first of all, I appreciate Wizards dropping a little something today so we can have a little something to talk about. Otherwise, there's going to be a pretty short show. Here we go. But for our first pick this week, today, they unloaded with Dr. Lairs Secretorium Super Drop. That is... Here we go. All right, so this one is the Come One, Come All, See the Splendors of Dr. Lairs Secretorium Super Drop. There's a bunch of them. This is a whole bunch of Secret Lairs. Now, this is stuff we talked about last week that had accidentally spoiled through Magic Online, I believe was most of it. Yeah. So none of this is necessarily surprising, but it is interesting how they kind of put them all together. They're putting them in sets of 3 in the different shards. Mm-hmm. You got your Bant and you got your Esper, and it has all the cool flavor text in there. And so they're $30 a whack, and they are non-foil, far as I can tell. And so you have those. So those are your culture shocks. Okay, cool. And then after the triple sets of Shocklands, which again are cool in their own right, you came to the full text lands. I can't believe these were real. I have been fooled enough on Twitter that I tweeted about it and I immediately deleted it because I was like, there's no way they're doing this. This is ridiculous. Somebody put up a mock-up and I fell for it or whatever. No. They are actually factually making full text lands. They don't credit an artist because there isn't one.
Jeez.
That's amazing.
I called these.
You did?
Did you?
2 years ago, I called these. Maybe longer, yeah. If any of you sleuths have the link, it might have been during a pre-show, but I'm pretty sure that I said that it was right after they did the full art, the Zendikar full art ones. When we got back to Zendikar, I was like, when are the full text lands coming? And people were like, oh, Ruben, you sweet summer child. And I said, no, there's money to be made here because word nerds will buy these. And I'm a word nerd. I'm not going to buy these. But, because I would need like 85 for a EDH deck. But these are hilarious and awesome.
All of the basic land Secret Lairs have been, if not, winners per se, definitely been worth it. And this is going to be an easy home run. This is what I'm telling you. Just get you one. Get you one. Throw it in the closet. Toss it in the closet. Let's talk in 5 years about what a good idea it was to buy basic land Secret Lairs, a.k.a. the Secret Lair that can fit into basically any deck you want it to because they're just basic lands.
If I had a Bruvac the Grandiloquent deck, I would want all of the artless only words islands for.
And they come in foil and non-foil. I don't know what the foils are going to look like, but I'm serious. This is the one. If you're like, do I ever get a Secret Lair to throw in a closet? Get this one. We'll talk in a long time. These full art lands are incredible.
Full text lands.
Full text lands, sorry. The full text lands are incredible, and I can't believe they went there. I really can't.
I do want to go back to the Shocklands. The one thing I enjoy them a lot, but the thing I really like about them is that they seem to cover different planes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You have flavor text going from, what appears to be conspiracy. You have references to Kaladesh, Theros, Tarkir, Ravnica, Innistrad. That's really, really cool. So not only are they beautiful, and these cards I think are just always going to have their value. Every time I try to build a commander deck, I think of the shocks, and I'm like, well, surely they must be more reasonable now. They are never reasonable. Yep. Like, it is amazing how much these cards have continued to hold their value.
I was going to say, earlier today, I was talking with somebody about how these, so I'm friends with somebody who works at a card shop, and they just took the stomping grounds that used to not be in the safe and put them back in the safe.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Which, if you know about the safe at any card shop, those are like, that's a lot. That's where the
alpha, beta, unlimited stuff. That's where the power is. That's where the expensive legend stuff is.
And they put the stomping grounds in it. So it's if the shock lands and the fetch lands, for that matter, ever come back into standard and they ever get back down into the $15 range. I mean, last time they were in standard, they got down to below 10.
Yeah, there's $8 to $10. I mean, are they like $20 now? I don't keep up.
No. Way
are they more expensive?
Yeah, they're
let me take
like,
a look here.
Reading pools are like 30s.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's
also note that this
here.
is the punchline to the Shocklands was always that Wizards named them so that they could print them anywhere, but they only printed them in Ravnica sets.
Yeah.
So this is literally fulfilling that. Yes, they could be anywhere. This is them anywhere.
So I just hopped on Card Kingdom. You can get a Ravnica Allegiance breeding pool for $25, and then Ruben's right. They do. Excuse me. The Gate Crash one is $30. Dissension is $40.
Sponsor us, Card Kingdom.
They just happen to be the autocomplete.
Just happen to be instead of coolstuffing.com.
That's true. I'm a traitorous wench. Well, but you know what? I would have looked them up if you had them. The last couple times I've tried to shop, we've been sold out. So
daggers. Well, either way, I
love
love the different planes things too, because again, Wizards is like, we can put them anywhere. It's like, but you never put them anywhere else. Well, they finally did.
Yeah.
The final secret lair here is our show is on Friday. Can you make it? Where you have a whole host of cards, including the Nature's Lore that we saw like last December, finally show up in a secret lair where we have some of the wildest looking secret lair cards to ever exist. I mean, even the metal ones I think weren't quite as kind of wacky, there. You know what I mean? Like, did more with the text, like that Wrath of God is incredible, like a 1960s poster.
The Decree of Pain is my favorite, which it was one of my cards on the top 10 Carl Critchlows, and just, this is gorgeous.
The Gamble looks like a The Killers concert poster.
Mm-hmm.
The Wrath of God is like Are You Experienced from Jimi Hendrix.
Right.
It's crazy.
And Preordain I need in the black light version. The one that lights up.
I need a thing I won't mention on the show to fully appreciate the lights and colors that are in that Preordain and listen to some Pink Floyd and stuff.
There you go. These are a super cool set of cards. I this is one of those, like, maybe it's a great buy. I can tell you 100% the lands are a home run. This one is one of those, it's probably cool because not a lot of people are going to buy in,
Sure.
It's
I also really want this Nature's Lore. I think this Nature's Lore is is my home run of the bunch, and I would love to play it in a commander deck.
Right. And I just lied. It was not the last secret lair because, of course, it's not. The Showcase Strixhaven showed up. So these are the 6 Showcase lands we saw on Magic Online. I'm like, what in the world are these doing here? This is the Fire Covenant, Fractured Identity, Fracturing Gust, Drown the Lock, Artifact Mutation, and All Is Dust. That's right, in the Loke. Deal with it.
Why were these not in this? Like, what is the creative process here?
Money, I guess. Fracturing Gust is a popular card.
The All Is Dust is beautiful.
The All Is Dust is insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, all of these are insane, but
all these are cool.
I'm just confused as to why these 6 cards were put into the secret lair and not put into Strixhaven.
I don't know. I would love to have these cards in Magic Arena, in Historic. I would love to have All Is Dust in Historic. That'd be cool. And this Drown the Loke as a different option would be also cool. But either way, this is in foil and non-foil, and so in the Mystical Archive, they found 6 more spells, and you can buy them here. Cool. And of course, they can get you bundles if you like. You can get all the shocks for $119. That gets you every single one of them.
For 10 of them, that's a snap deal.
Yeah, look at that.
I think.
I mean, 10 shock lands for $120. I mean,
that's easy. That's $12 a shock land. That is an easy purchase, in my opinion.
I mean, it's basically, if you're in the market to buy a shock land, it's a pretty good market for a shock land, and that's part of what Wizards doing here is like, hey,
are we sure it's 10?
No, it's actually 15.
It's
so
15.
you get each of the culture shocks: Bant, Esper, Grixis, Jund, Naya.
So 15 shocks for 120.
Yeah, that's like.
Then that's even less than.
That's
what,
even
9
less.
or so? Either way, there's a Voracious Reader bundle, which gets you 10 of the full text lands for $240. 10 of each for $240, or the foils for $320. Man, they are giving you the big boy numbers at this point. And the main event bundle, which gets you the 5 shards, the full text lands foil. Our show is on Friday. Can you make it? Showcase Strixhaven and the Showcase Strixhaven foil edition for $260.
That seems low.
That's a thing, along with 1 single-use code for the Strixhaven Showcase theme sleeve.
Which is the Fire Covenant, which I love.
Are the shocks available in non-foil?
I believe they're only giving them in non-foil, I'm saying.
Okay.
The only option is non-foil.
Okay, because I'm in if they're non-foil, but I just do not want foils.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the thing. To celebrate, let's see. If you made a Secret Lair purchase necessarily, you may have noticed something new. The ability to log in with your Wizards account. The first step towards many new features and improvements. To celebrate, some lucky logged-in users will get a little something extra with their pre-order. Specifically, 1,000 customers who place a pre-order during the Super Drop will receive a promotional Arcbound Ravager card with their drops.
Sure.
That's neat. It's like an $8 card or so.
That's just more value.
Yeah, just
This
free.
is insane. This number is hilariously low. $260 for 10 Secret Lairs. That's $26 a Secret Lair.
Mm-hmm.
That's an average of like $5 a card.
$5 a card, yeah, and they're going to be worth a lot more than that, I can tell you.
They're already worth more than that.
Yeah, this is one of those things where, Wizards is a company that sells collectibles, and we have to accept it and appreciate it and understand it because they're making a collectible. And is it exciting for the people who collect the collectibles and who want the collectibles, who use the collectibles in the game? This seems like a terrific outlay of collectible content that you can buy and store in your home.
These are the cheapest Shocklands that you're going to find for the next 5 years.
Sounds about right. And again, Wizards knows this, and then good on them, for knowing that. But that's where these prices don't just fall out of the sky. Yeah. They know what your average buying price is going to be, and what's going to make you kind of go, oh, that's enough value. I'm in there. Mm-hmm. And man, providing 10x full text lands as an option, that's a hell of a thing.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, and there's definitely the whales out there who want 10x, 20x of each land like that. Like they'll live for that stuff, and more power to them. All right, so we've covered that. Let's move on here to Gather the Townsfolk. Very nice, very nice. You can play MrBeast tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Does someone want to explain to me what a MrBeast is?
Yes, I will explain.
In
case you've been living under a rock like Aaron Campbell,
it's true.
MrBeast has over 60 million YouTube subscribers. 60 million YouTube subscribers, Aaron. He is a YouTuber. He's like a YouTube content creator and does things specifically to get YouTube clicks. Among the things that he's done in the last year is he bought people houses. He adopted all of the animals in an animal shelter. He gave he ate $100,000 ice cream sundae. He Ubered people around.
He got the 20 million trees, $20 million raised thing that you might have heard about.
He picked somebody up in an Uber and let them keep the car. These are the kinds of things that MrBeast does. And tomorrow, two people will win $25,000 for playing MrBeast. Not winning. Just playing against them.
See, Aaron, his whole shtick is to give away value, a ton of value, out of nowhere to just anyone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow, that's 2 to 3 o'clock Eastern Standard, you should be playing Magic Arena because you might be playing MrBeast. And if you are, he'll select you or one of the people he plays against to win $25,000. They're just going to email you and say, hey, congratulations, you won $25,000. That's a thing that's going to happen. And so that's that's what he does. And because when you give away $50,000, you know, that sounds like a lot, but when you make a YouTube video that gets 10 million hits, you're making a lot more than $50,000 off that one video. So that's why you can do that.
He's making way more.
Right. So MrBeast basically figured out that the more outlandish and the more over the top he could spend money, the more money he'll make in as a result of spending all of that money, if that makes sense. And that just continues to go on today.
He has the number 2 trending YouTube video on YouTube right now, which appears to be a Minecraft video of some kind, and also has another one in the top 20, I think. This video has 5 million views in the last 9 hours. So he's like the YouTuber.
Right. And YouTube has definitely sort of hitched a wagon onto his brand, and he does a whole lot of stuff with them and for them. And I mean, more power to him. It seems to do fantastic things.
What format am I supposed to be playing?
It's an FNM. Well, it's an FNM format, or it's an FNM
and they're
event.
pre-constructed decks, I think.
With pre-constructed decks, so you can't go wrong. You just pick a deck and play, and you should play during that 1 hour because again,
what time? What time was do I need to play?
From your time, 11 a.m. to 12 noon.
11 a.m.
Yeah, that's early. That's a lot. That's a lot for Ruben.
I've actually been waking up very early, so that's actually fun.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Well, moving on here, congratulations to the AsianAvenger. They raised $12,094 for Stop AAPI Hate and streamed for 16 hours. So that was awesome.
That's such an excellent... you know, it's always nice when the big streamers have these big charity events, and I hadn't seen the AsianAvenger do one before, but I know that that they'd been, you know, they came into Magic with the arena boom, but they also, I think he top 8'd a GP. He's been very passionate about paper Magic, and he appears to now be a lifer. So he's one of us now. I think
he's now a really important part of MTG Goldfish as well. I believe he's a regular on their videos and their podcasts as well. And you know, I always say, this is the point of having a platform. Like, you know, when you have a platform, you have the ability to make change. And so he is choosing to, you know, as an Asian player himself, you know, he's choosing to use his platform to highlight the issues that Asians have been facing lately. And rather than, you know, sit at home and say, what can I do? He said, I'm going to do something about it. And he did. And this is a really great example of that.
Yeah,
and if you want to continue to support Stop AAPI, which is Asian American and Pacific Islander, AAPIHate.org is the address that you can go to support that. It's not the end of that struggle. So
sure, but it always helps. So yeah. All right, moving on here to the Ollie from Cairo artwork. Is a classic piece at this point, a indelible part of Magic as we know it, and it went up for auction, and then it sold for $56,200.
Wow,
that's a lot of money. That's a chunk of change.
Every collectible just went. Also, I like the $5.65 shipping. 140 bids, that's no joke. 56K, that's also no joke. I mean, the record for most expensive artwork sold when we started this show was 30K, and it's been broken every 3 months since then.
Almost,
And yeah, this is, I mean, I'm somehow flabbergasted and totally unsurprised.
Yeah, right. I think this is great. You know, we've said before that there are so many ways to enjoy Magic, and you can be a cosplayer, you can be a podcaster, you can love foils, you can love full art, you can love white border cards, you know, and there are some people where it really is just about the art for them. And, you know, we have art connoisseurs in Magic, and it's also, so it's great to see them getting something out of this. And it's also great for the artists who, you know, it's my understanding that, you know, as an artist, you know, it can be a very inconsistent profession where sometimes you may have lots of work and the work may dry up or whatever. And so it's nice to know that something you did years and years ago, you know, could pay dividends to you, you know, further down the way. So that's great.
And we're not even getting into NFTs, okay? We're just not doing that.
I haven't needed, so.
Yeah, smart.
This girl knows what's up.
Block every non-fungible token.
There you go. The idea, to own a piece of Magic history, this is an indelible part, like the first creature ever on the ban list, stuff like that, obviously from Arabian Nights, which was amazing, and it looks incredible. I think that my favorite part is when you realize how small these paintings are. I mean, this thing is like a postcard. Like, it's really like this big.
Yeah.
And it's great, obviously, but it's funny when you go like, wow, that's how large it is, huh? It's just a tiny little
And it's important to note that a lot of the art is accessible as well. Not every piece of art that goes on sale has to be paid for up front. If you follow Vorthos Mike at all, you'll see there have been so many instances where it's like, they're willing to do payment plans or they're willing to do installment plans. And so, even just getting prints, I think that people are starting to realize that art, owning a piece of art can be as simple as an artist proof. Like, there's so many ways to get into that scene. You don't necessarily have to dive in at the deep end. There's a lot of ways to get started on that if that's your bag.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, moving on here, Wizards did a good thing, and we always like to appreciate when they do the good stuff. They've been helping out Children's Miracle Network, and particularly this would be raising $1.6 million for local Children's Miracle Network hospitals in 2020 through D&D and Magic Community fundraising, a special secret Lair drop with unique Magic the Gathering cards, merchandise,
that one,
and many other virtually innovative campaigns throughout the year.
Yeah, they were named Extra Life's Partner of the Year, which is no joke. Extra Life is a huge nonprofit, and for Wizards of the Coast to be named Partner of the Year is a big deal.
Yeah. Donations raised through Wizards of the Coast will go to the Wizards of the Coast Autism Center Development Fund at Seattle Children's Hospitals and will help support the highest priorities that will advance patient care and program development for Seattle Children's Autism Center. So that is fantastic.
Yeah. We always like to we chide, but we only roast the ones we love. And in WotC's case, we'll make an exception. No, I'm kidding. But we also like to point out when WotC does very good, and this is very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, not a whole lot left to the show.
The Queen has returned.
Ayo.
Yeah.
Moving on here to Desperate Ravings. There was an interview with Helene Bergeot.
It is Helene Bergeot. She is back after a 6-year hiatus, traveling the world and be fabulous.
I put a link in the show notes, links here in the chat. You guys can take a look at it. A lot of it covers sort of, where she's from and how she joined Wizards and where she's been and where she is now and what she's working on now and stuff. And just at the very end of it, he kind of, I think, you can kind of see the interviewer, he kind of goes closer and closer to this question, and then he finally goes...
Interviewer, Evan?
Yes, the interviewer.
Petr Soderchek. He's like a GP top 8. I think he has a Pro Tour top 8.
Did you really want me to try to say that word? All right.
You know what?
I'm not trying to disrespect the man. I just didn't want to screw up his name.
He doesn't have a Pro Tour top 8.
Peter Chex Mix. Like, Evan can't do that.
He has 9 GP top 8s and 4 wins.
But you can say Guillaume Matignon. You can say that Japanese artist who did
I
the
can say
Liliana.
any Japanese name because that language always follows the same structure.
Except you can't do Ray Sato.
Or TSS Alaric.
Well, thanks.
Anyway, let's go back to the interview.
The point is that Helene Bergeot had an interview, and there at the end, it felt like they were getting closer and closer to asking her, and they're finally like, okay, what caused you to leave Wizards? And she's like, well, I was online all the time. I was, basically on call all the time, text, emails, messages, nonstop. And that I understand, and that's certainly true. Don't get me wrong. And then there's a little bit where she kind of goes, and there was a digital, the company was turning into a digital company, something of that nature. We were transitioning into a digital company. To which, for someone who was obviously very into the paper side, the people-oriented organized play stuff, would probably not gel so well with. And so when you look at that, it was around 2017, and that the new president had came in about 6 months previous, and once that new agenda had sort of swept through Wizards, you can kind of see also, there were a whole bunch of people who had been in organized play for a long, long time that left, not just Helene, but people sort of on the back end that I would recognize because I've been to like Pro Tours and know these people who work on the inside of Wizards. But there was a whole host of people who left around that period, and you can see from that point onward how Wizards has tried esports, what happened with their esports, and how everyone doesn't really like their esports stuff. And in the meantime, destroyed 25 years of history with the DCI. We have no paper Pro Tours right now, nor are there any announced for the future. And there's not it doesn't feel like Wizards is like chomping at the bit to come back to a paper-oriented organized play system. just in general.
The thing that really struck me about this interview, besides how great it was to see Helene again and to hear Helene again,
nice.
because she's an icon, like nothing short to me, is how much she appreciated feedback from the community, even when it was negative. And that's such a stark departure from what we've seen in her replacements, who have almost isolated themselves from the community. I remember when her role got filled initially, I didn't even know it had been filled, and the only reason I knew was because I was having dinner with somebody who worked at Wizards at the time, and he just casually was like, "Oh yeah, I had a meeting with Davide the other day," and I was like, "Who's Davide?" And he goes, "Oh, that's the new Helene," and I was like, I didn't know anything about this, and then I think his name was like buried at the bottom of like an introduction. Like, it was just not, and to be clear, Helene's an outlier, so I certainly don't expect anybody who replaced her to be as open as she was, because she really went above and beyond, and let's be clear about that. But, you know, there is, I think it's a spectrum where if Helene's on the one end of like complete openness, honesty, listening to the community, like you said, being on call, and then there's, you don't even know my name. I think there's got to be like a happy medium there. And, you know, to see her say, I was grateful for the feedback, I wanted that feedback, really stood out to me, because like I said, the last couple people do not seem to have made that effort. And I think that shows. And that's particularly concerning in a workplace like Wizards that we've heard is very safe and that nobody wants to rock the boat. And, not turning to the public is fine if you know that the feedback you're getting around you is valid and honest. But when you're in a culture that doesn't want to rock the boat, you may not be getting the best feedback. And so I'm glad that Helene was able to say, I need a little bit more honesty, and that's why I'm going to keep my ear to the community. And I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Talk about not knowing what you had till it's gone.
Oh, God.
Like, as much as people complained about Pro Tours and communication and the systems and the rewards and the levels, like, she was there the whole time explaining it one way or another.
Even when that era of 4 to 20 years ago was happening, even when there were complaints about the Pro Tour levels and gold and should there be a bronze and getting rid of PTQs and all of the consternation, everyone universally loved Helene, because even if you disagreed with her, you respected her and you understood that she had the best interest of the game at heart. Mm-hmm. Right. Whether or not you thought that the moves that Wizards was taking were good, whether or not that you thought her decisions personally were good, it all came from a place of mutual respect and understanding. Mm-hmm. The fact that part of her departure is a result of the internet noise box machine is unfortunate, and that sucks. But I also don't think that was the main impetus. Well,
she didn't say the internet was the reason why she left.
No, there was
an overwhelming kind of workload, and then there was the internal transitions of the company or whatever.
Right. So for the most part, her leaving the company had to do with the turnover and Chris Cox coming in and everybody from Leapfrog and Microsoft and all of the new changes to the digital atmosphere. And it does make me sad that we will never see her again.
Something that strikes me all this time, all these many months later, all these many years later, was, there was a point in time when Wizards was, destroying the DCI stuff and rewriting all the different ways that the pros are pros and how the MPLs and the rivals and all this other stuff. And we're the whole time going we don't understand why you're doing it this way. We don't understand why you're inviting people this way. We don't understand why the tournaments are structured this way. We don't understand. And the whole time it was, just give us time. We're going to lay this out. It's going to make so much sense when you see the full plan.
Yep.
And we've seen the full plan and it failed. And it sucks that literally, along the way, we're like, look, you don't have to do it this way. But it doesn't matter when they've decided the direction. It's you're full steam in it, and you just want to get out of the way.
That was another thing you could always count on with Helene's transparency. I mean, she would literally show up at the Pro Tour, at the commentator's desk and unveil the changes to you. And, she was no stranger to interviews, and I think she would be the first person to say when a program didn't work or was something need to be better. And again, we really appreciated that, as opposed to, like you said, Evan, where, so many things seem to be, obscure or murky, or people feel like they're not being let into things, or people are not admitting when decisions have gone poorly. And Helene was just one to kind of put it all out there. And, we really appreciated that honesty and, her respecting us to let us in on those decisions.
Yeah, do yourself a favor and click on this video link. It only has like 300 views somehow, but
let's get those numbers up.
Yeah, let's pump those numbers up. It was nice to hear from Helene. This is an excellent little conversation.
Yeah,
absolutely. So, moving on here real fast to some splash damage. Why not? We got a moment. Sure. Congratulations to Seb McKinnon. That boy is going to make a movie.
Good.
10,125 backers. Thanks to all of you. He says, we're making a movie. There are no words that express how thankful I am. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's
Didn't
cool.
he make one already? Like, I could have sworn.
He made some short films, yes, with his brother.
Okay.
But being able to use the Kickstarter money to make a new movie, theoretically, a full-length movie this time, with, some amount of money behind it, which is nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So congratulations to them. Something else I thought was interesting was that there is a Legends, the Legends of Runeterra, which is the League of Legends card game.
Yeah.
That thing is happening now with a $200,000 prize pool, 256 players battling it out, and
this is the biggest trading card news of the week.
Wow.
Or collectible card game news of the week.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's the biggest.
How is this game doing, by the way? I don't hear too much about it.
It's doing well.
It's doing. Okay. I mean, they have a $200,000 prize pool.
Well, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean you're doing well. I mean,
that's fair.
Artifact says what's up, but Legends of Runeterra has, in my opinion, has done fairly well. It's no Magic, but nothing is ever going to be. But it's a very fun game, and I enjoyed it for a hot minute. But ultimately, the way that I like so much about it is that, if you cared enough to try to get into it, the way that they have it structured, the way that you get into these qualifiers, the way that you're able to go into events that you need to get like 7 wins in order to be involved in the event later, stuff like that is very simple and easy to understand, whereas there's this like web of arrows and things going on with wizard stuff that is hardly ever as clear. And I know they both have their intricacies, but on its face, it seems a lot simpler. And again, it's really interesting just to see how this game is really crushing it, honestly, at this point.
I also, the rumblings I've heard about top tier Legends of Runeterra play are very funny to me, because they remind me of when I was playing Magic when I was 15, because the system for securing a spot requires you to have essentially a high number that you want to sit on, and so sometimes you're incentivized to not play Legends of Runeterra. And I think back to my days sitting on my DCI rating for buys at GPs, and I laugh and
laugh. What's a DCI rating, Grandpa?
What is any of the words I just said?
What's an ELO? What does that mean? Yep. I remember
Well, Sonny Boy, the Duelist Convocation International used to give ratings to Magic the Gathering players. Are you still awake? No? Okay, we'll move on.
You had to be over 1,700 to play in certain events at one point in time back in the day. It was fun. Yeah. All right, so that's that. We're going to turn the corner here to the finisher. Dr. Lairs, Secretorium Super Drop is here. Main event, Culture Shocks, Showcase Strixhaven, Voracious Reader, and those excellent Are You Experienced style music festival poster promos. They're really feeling themselves lately with these secret layers. So tell me, if you were put in charge of the Sanctum Secretorium, what layer would you like to bring to the table, Ruben?
Everybody loves bears. Right, Aaron? Lots of us want new reprints of Razor Claw Bears, Forest Bear, Bearscape, Words of Wilding, and of course, Gore Claw. And lots of us also love a lot, Good Luck, Wish, Harmony, Funshine, and more. So I want Secret Lair, the Care Bear Stair Lair. It's sure to make the Magic fans care a lot.
Oh man, we've been getting some bear representation lately, so I think that is beautiful.
Nice.
Ain't nothing wrong with that, Aaron.
Well, you want a secret layer to speak to you, to hit you in the heart, to make you feel something, and most of all, to inspire you. And no series of characters would inspire you more than Jada Essence Hall, Priyanka, Sasha Velour, and Bibi Zahara Benet. Get ready, girl, because with me in charge, Secret Layer Drag Race is on the horizon. And all I can say is, hallelujah.
Oh, yeah. Look, I'm a huge proponent of buying up Magic products and throwing them in the closet for 10 years. Collectibles have gone mad in quarantine, from Pokemon to action figures to everything in between. So I'm excited to introduce Secret Lair to the moon. That's right, folks. Get your tendies here with the very first NFT Secret Lair featuring new versions of Smothering Ethereum Tithe, Bitcoin Blossom, and of course, Greater Moss Doge. That's what I'm talking about.
I would play that.
Woo, woo, woo. Got that Doge coin.
Blossom.
The
Bitcoin
Drag
Blossom's a good
Lair.
one.
That's a good one.
I like it. Well, that ends another live episode of Magic Mike's. Thanks for joining us here to discuss all things Magic. Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you for having me. Stay safe, everybody.
Thank you, Ruben.
Thank you. I'm going to hopefully not feel like crap tomorrow after my second dose of 5G directly into my arm.
We are
Well, now
all
you got
fully
all
good
the-
internet.
You got all the microchips, right? So now
Yeah,
you're
I've
all
got
fully
We are all
robotic.
fully vaccinated now, and if you are watching this show, go ahead and get your vaccinations. In America, they become much more available, and we need you to do your part, so join us.
Yes.
Please take your family, your parents, your cousins, get them vaccinated. Let's do this. All right, move to our final slide. I want to thank our sponsor, CoolStuffInc.com, our co-sponsors, CardHoarder.com, and our newest sponsor, Altersleeves. Get yours at altersleeves.com/magicmikes. My co-hosts, Aaron Campbell and Ruben Bressler, you guys for watching and listening. I hope you support us at patreon.com/magicmikes. Please follow, like, tweet, favorite, share, subscribe to everything social that tells people we exist. Catch us online on our Discord, twitch.tv at Magic Mikes, on Twitter at Magic Mikes Cast, our Magic Mikes subreddit, and like the Magic Mikes page on Facebook. Or join us here next week, same time, same place, for another episode of Magic Mikes. Good night, everybody.